Well, it's been a while since I last showed you my fragrance collection here, and I thought it was time for an update. A lot of things have happened since last time.
Do you guys keep the boxes? I do and I don't.
I have over 900 fragrances. And since y'all ass is so nosy, here's a quick tour of my collection.
My updated perfume tour is finally here.
You all seem to have really enjoyed my last video when it came to fragrance collections, perfume collections out there, whether that's big collections, smaller collections, just showing how people collect different fragrances. And in today's video, I'm actually doing a part 2 where I'm reacting to some TikToks, Instagram videos out there. So if you guys are excited, keep watching and we'll just jump straight into it. And before we do, actually, I do have something quite interesting to show you guys. So my partner's mum, actually, Monica, she's just released her first book, which is called A Pause for Thought. And I just thought it'd be quite interesting for you guys if you are interested in maybe any charitable causes, because it is supporting a charity called Crisis here in the UK. And this is just a really beautiful book for anyone interested in poetry, illustrations, almost like spiritual observations. Monica goes through essentially her observations over COVID, and she was an art teacher for 44 years, so she's taught some really amazing students. And I don't know whether you guys can see here, but it just includes some really gorgeous illustrations like this one, which is personally my favorite. So if you guys are interested, please just check out my link in the description bar below. You can order it from the publisher's website, or you can order it via email, and we'll just jump straight into the video. So this goes obviously without saying, but I always like to highlight in any of these types of videos, please do not compare yourself to any of these videos I'm about to show. Please just keep in mind we all have varying different fragrance collections. Some people have far bigger collections in comparison to others. I have a big-ish collection, but I have nowhere near the size of some of these people's collections. And I always like to remind myself, Pika, you know, just don't compare yourself. Even though I would class myself as a fragrance content creator, it doesn't mean that necessarily I'm going to have the same reach as some of these other people. Some people do it as a hobby, some people do it as a job, you know, with content creation, although it doesn't pay loads. So the people who do it seriously, they must be doing something different. And you know, I always say in all of my videos, I'm really picky which fragrance houses I like to accept free bottles from, so that's probably why my collection's gotten, you know, a lot smaller. And then on top of that, I've been on a bit of a low spend type of year. I will actually be doing a video dedicated to that. So for any people who are interested in finance related things, or just not minimalism, because I'm definitely not a minimalist, I'm far from it, but people who like to maybe be a little bit conscious of their spending, I will explain kind of which fragrances I did buy during my low spend year, why I bought them, and yeah, just things along those lines. So before we get into it, I just wanted to kind of explain that to you guys. And to start off the video, I wanted to highlight this video, which I thought was really interesting. It's this guy that I've never seen before. I found him on TikTok, and his setup, by the way, for his perfume collection is incredible. It's definitely the kind of style that I want in my new home, because I'm very much into like my antique furniture. So I'd ideally want all of my fragrances in a beautiful cabinet like that. So we're just gonna go through his collection together, and then yeah, we can go from there.
Well, it's been a while since I last showed you my fragrance collection here, and I thought it was time for an update. A lot of things have happened since last time. And let's start by looking at this beautiful cabinet. I love this cabinet still. And a lot of people do as well, it seems, because people have been asking me where it's from. It's from a Danish company called Denka. So now you know. Let's open it up. So this collection consists of slightly above 200 bottles, of which about 70% are niche or niche quality fragrances, including stuff like private lines, like Dior private line and Tom Ford private line. I've had this hobby for about 7 years, and if you couldn't tell, I love it. I love the hunt for new exciting fragrances, to try things out, the hunt for the treasure hunt really for the perfect fragrance for each occasion. I just love it, and developing your sense of smell. And before anybody says, oh no, they're gonna go bad in a couple of years, no, they're not. If you store fragrances correctly, not in the bathroom, for example, they can last for tens of years, so don't worry about that. Yeah, let's take a closer look at this fragrance collection. All right, let's begin exploring here. We start with the house of Ormond Jane, really high quality stuff, classy house. And here we have Nirvanesque by Art Fragrance Company. Look at this bottle. Love this bottle and the fragrance. And it holds a lot of sentimental value for me as well. Love it. Here we have the house of Chasing Scents, which makes fragrances based on tea. Really cool stuff. Rain tea is amazing. Love it. Here we have Dior, and a Dior silver stem, by the way. Amouage. Here we have Strangelove NYC's Melt My Heart and Lost in Flowers. Fantastic quality fragrances. Love them. Creed, Parfums de Marly, Chanel. Here we have a cute little tiny bottle of number 5.
Right, I just want to stop it there because there's a lot to digest here. So first of all, his cabinet is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I love the way that he's storing the fragrances, definitely right up my alley. What I love is the fact that he kind of gave like a bit of an introduction, so him collecting over 7 years, so actually quite similar to the length of time that I've been collecting for, so it kind of seems like we're on the similar, wavelength. I love his fragrance collection so far already. I mean, I see Ormond Jane, I see all of these beautiful, Dior, the private collection fragrances. I see Strangelove NYC. I've always kind of wanted to dabble in that brand, but honestly, I just find it so, it is expensive, isn't it? I mean, when we talk about super expensive fragrances, we always need to talk about Strangelove NYC, but when we're talking about niche, I guess that is, quite a niche house to go with. So it's exactly like what he's just said. 70% of his collection does come across niche or niche quality, which is great to see. And yeah, I quite like the mix of different fragrances, some of which I've never even seen before. Like there was a beautiful bottle in the top with the white, almost like mosaic kind of style, almost very similar to like a Bottega style bottle, and I've never even come across that brand before, so that's really interesting. And what I love to see in the middle, for any guys watching, I see my beloved Montebaco Verano. So that was the old flanker of Montebaco, but since then Ormond Jane have come out with Verano. So yeah, so far so good.
Going to shelf 2 here, and we start with the house of Rania J. Here's one of my favorite fragrances of all time, Ambre Loup by Rania J. A fantastic, slightly dirty amber. Here we have my Serjoff, and I love Apollonia. Look at this bottle. It's supposed to look like the moon. Love it. Here we have Penhaligon's, and in the back, Scent.profile, a really nice Swedish fragrance brand. Here we have Yves Saint Laurent and some assorted stuff here, Profumum Roma, Floraiku, and here we have some Rojas. I've had more Rojas before, actually. Parfum de la Nuit 2, Diaghilev, and Candy Oud, but I sold them and I kind of regret it. Lancôme, Maison Francis Coq-Jean, love Amis Homme Extract de Parfum, a fantastic signature.
So I think I'm actually just going to stop the video there because it is quite a long video and I kind of want to showcase different videos that I've picked. Really love the fact that he included Rania J. That's a brand that I've kind of been slowly trying to explore. I've tried a couple of their fragrances and they are very beautiful, so that's really great to see. What I find also really interesting is one of the bottles, which is the YSL bottle, it really reminds me of when I first started collecting and they still had, like the old formulations and the old packaging. So that one I think was Splendid Wood, and they've had all sorts of different, fragrances over the years, and Majestic Oud is that one of them as well. So I can tell he's a proper collector, and the reason why I say that as well, I don't know if you guys have had the same experience. He noted that a couple of the Roger fragrances he's actually kind of regretted selling, and I've been in the same boat where I've sold different fragrances when I was like decluttering and shifting around my fragrance collection, and then months down the line I actually started to really regret it, and I thought to myself, oh, why did I do that? Like there was one Galan fragrance that I had which was a limited edition, and I sold that for quite a decent amount of money, I'll say that, but I do really miss it. Sometimes I just miss like the nostalgia of first getting the fragrance and then loving the fragrance and then not even having it in my collection anymore. So if you guys have had the same experience, let me know. I don't know whether that's just a collector's thing that you start regretting you know, fragrances that you've sold. But anyway, we'll go on to another video now. So the next video that I have is of this gentleman, and by the looks of it, he's a very serious collector. This man is not playing around, and I'm actually a little bit shocked that I've never seen him before. I need to be more active on TikTok and Instagram and things. It's just, life is just so crazy, guys. Like, first of all, I'm so sorry that you didn't get last weekend's video. I just thought about it now. The fact that I didn't even let you guys know that I wasn't posting a video. It's just, yeah, it's been crazy, guys. Like, I can't even explain the last couple of weeks to you. I am changing a lot, career-wise. I've visited like a lot of my friends. I've been out and about. It's just been one of those one of those months, to be honest. So anyway, all of this to say, I need to be more active on social media, not just YouTube. And I'm just surprised that I've never seen this lovely gentleman before. So we'll go through his collection. He's got an insane collection, and yeah, we'll get your guys' thoughts.
I have over 900 fragrances. And since y'all ass is so nosy, here's a quick tour of my collection.
Okay, I love this man already. I love this video. I love the fact that at the end he was like, this is not a flex, I've just been collecting. And that is literally what it is. And this is what I say to you guys as well. Like, just because somebody has a massive perfume collection, so what? It doesn't mean that they're any better than you, and this is where comparison is definitely the thief of joy. And I just love kind of like the synopsis that he gave, the fact that he started collecting in 2008, so this man has clearly been in this hobby for quite some time. Probably explains just the varying different, you know, bottles that he has in his collection. I also love his setup. I don't know about you guys if you were able to see that properly. It's probably one of the most unique setups I've seen, and it's very real. Like, you know, when you start losing space, you know, when you're collecting so many bottles, and I don't even have as many or even near as many as what this man has, but you kind of start looking at creative ways of storing the fragrances. So I just really love the fact that it kind of spans like the whole room, and he's organized everything so differently. Also, let's have a look at some of the brands, because I would have sworn that I saw Boucheron, which, as you guys know, I love Boucheron. You can also get them for a really great discount, like Amber the Alexander. I've got Iris the Syracuse. There's Oud Carthage, some really beautiful ones. So let's have a look. Yeah, I can see Boucheron, Acro, Pantheon Roma at the bottom, and then which other ones? Those brands I don't recognize. So Bodesillas on like the left hand corner in that cabinet there. I would swear that those are BDK Parfums, just under where the Bodesillas are, so awesome. He's got a lot of Xerjoff, and what I love as well is he's given kind of like notes of what he has in his collection. So first fragrance I ever purchased, Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Mal. Fantastic fragrance. The original, amazing. I don't know if you guys saw my recent video about flankers, and to be honest, maybe I was a little bit too harsh when it came to that fragrance. I just want to say that I really like Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Mal. The original Le Mal is a phenomenal fragrance. However, what I was trying to convey in that fragrance video is the fact that there's just been so many flankers. Like, you literally could not count the amount of flankers and limited editions out there for this specific fragrance. I think in total we came to the conclusion that it was something over 50, which is just crazy to me. So it just shows like how things evolve over time. It's just become one of those staples within people's collections. At the same time though, I don't know why the brand deems it necessary to release so many different flankers. So anyway, I really loved his video. I will actually be checking out more of his videos in the future, because he does seem like he's really knowledgeable when it comes to perfumes and fragrances. So that was the next video. Right, now for my ladies, I have a perfume collection video here, and I think I mentioned this in the last video when we were talking about the collections. For some reason, whenever I type in perfume collection, fragrance collection, either on TikTok or Insta, it brings up a lot of male geared content, which I found really interesting, because both of my feeds are mainly for women. So I don't know why there's more videos around male centered fragrance videos, which isn't a problem, by the way. It was just something that I'd observed. I was like, oh, there seems to be a lot more videos around males fragrance, you know, collections in comparison to females. Don't know what's going on there, but anyway, I've got a perfume collection video here, so we'll go through it together and we'll see which ones she has.
My updated perfume tour is finally here. I just moved to a new apartment, so I wanted to update my fragrances and get something that was a little bigger shelving unit wise, and this is what I ordered. I ordered it on Amazon. It is linked in my storefront, so let me take you through my organization. So my previous shelving unit, I organized it by what I liked wearing the most, so I had that at the top, and then what I liked wearing the least at the bottom. But for this one, I decided to do in color order. So at the top, I started with white. So I have a Bond No. 9 Bianco Latte, Blanche Betts back there, Parfum de Marly. Then I have like my gold and yellow bottle, so I have some Mise en Serre back here, La Danza, Dama Bianca, Rosendo Matteo, Plume Impressions, Lyra, Lieb, some Mancera, and Escapade Gourmand. And the second shelf kind of continues to like the orangey pinky red bottle. So then I have some Nichane, some Kais in the back, Janny, some more Parfum de Marly, Monacara, Killian Love Don't Be Shy back there, MFK Grand Soir, some more Mancera, Xerjoff, La Capitale, Baccarat, my Maison Crivelli fragrances, Soy Maliki, and Italica. Next we have my pink and purple shelf, which I love because it starts off with Guidance, which is my all-time favorite scent, Delina exclusive, Delina La Rosé, MFK, Gentle Fluidity Gold, which I ordered a bigger bottle of because I just love it, Gritty Tutu, some Montals, Oud Bouquet, and Baby Cat. Then we have my darker blues, blacks, silver shelf. I also really like this shelf. So we have some The Harmonist, another Bond, Herba Pura, Thamine, another MFK Oud Satin Mood, which I am wearing today, another Bond New York Nights, another Harmonist, Parfum de Marly, one of my favorite perfumes of all time, Thomas Cosmala No. 4, some Tiziana Terenzi, Montal Arabian's Tonka, one of my favorites, some Commodity. And then the bottom shelf is where I'm going to be keeping some boxes when I get some more fragrances.
Right, so I'm just going to stop it there because otherwise this is going to be a mega long video. First of all, I love the way she's explained all of this. Second of all, I'm very similar to this lady. Like, honestly, I'm the exact same. I used to do it by how frequently I would grab a fragrance, whereas now I've done it in color coordination, although my collection's all over the place just with how badly I'm storing things at the moment. But I really love the mix of different fragrances she has. It's very clear to me that she's curated exactly which fragrances she really enjoys. Obviously, there's some really popular ones in there, we cannot deny this, but if she loves them, she loves them, and clearly you can see that she's really given like a lot of thought behind how to, you know, put this collection together. And I just love that. I love the fact that you can see somebody really enjoys what they have on their shelves. Like, I was just going through, which one was it? The pink section. Let me just have a quick look back. So you've got the white ones at the top, and then La Danza, one of my favorite vanillas. And then towards the bottom you have Casilli. What I love as well, I don't know if you guys noticed the same, there's a really big mix of more affordable niche and like more mainstream designer fragrances, which I think is a great thing to have, because you know, not every day are you going to be going for the really niche kind of like more complex fragrances, but neither are you always going to reach for, you know, your more mainstream kind of fragrances as well? So I just love the fact that she's got a proper mix here, and I'm literally just going through the video as we speak. Do you guys keep the boxes? I do and I don't. It's really weird. Like, I don't know how my logic works for these kind of things, but for my more important fragrances, I like to keep their boxes, which doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever, because surely you would then keep the boxes of all of the fragrances if they are important to you. But for some reason, I just find some boxes are worth keeping in comparison to others. So I don't know what's going on there, but I really like the fact that she said she's going to start storing them underneath, and then at least then she kind of has like a packaging solution for the fragrances she does want to keep. Now moving on to a slightly different subject, I wanted to highlight this because I thought it kind of integrates with fragrance collecting really well, and I'm going to be doing, as I mentioned, a low spend video quite soon, just talking about like my theory behind buying fragrances nowadays when you do have a slightly bigger collection. So I know that I always go on about samples, travel sizes. A lot of you guys really agree with me. Some of you guys are like, I'm tired. Pika, I'm tired. I don't want to be buying samples all the time. And I completely get it. I really do. Not all the time will you be wanting to buy samples. You want to blind buy because it gives you that like rush of thinking, right, I know how this is going to smell like. I'm really excited. But I still go down to the same conclusion of, if you're going to try something, try it before you buy it. And that goes without saying for most things, right? And just to give you guys some context, so a very niche brand reached out to me on Instagram recently, having watched my channel, and they said to me, you know, can we do a collaboration together? You know, can we send you some of our bottles, etc.? And I actually said to the owner, let's just stop it there. I've heard really great things about your brand, but I would prefer to first try the fragrances before, you know, giving you guys my thoughts around it. So he's been super kind. He was like, yeah, I completely understand why you'd want to do that. So he's going to be sending me 5 mLs of the different fragrances they have within the brand, which I super appreciate, by the way. That's such an honor being able to get that from a brand, and you know, for them trusting you in that sense, and you know, being able to even send you samples free of charge. To me, that's a really great honor. But anyway, where I was going with this is, by doing that, I can really let him know and let the brand know, this is a fragrance I enjoy. This is a fragrance that doesn't meld with me as well. And this is the whole point behind travel sizes, samples, etc. So anyway, we're going to watch this lady's video and then we'll get your guys' thoughts.
You don't need that new bottle of perfume. You really don't. And this is from somebody with a full collection. If you struggle with overspending and splurging on full-size perfume bottles that you don't need, start trying this one trick to help you make better decisions. Next time you want a perfume, or you have multiple perfumes you're interested in, get the travel size. I know it's not glamorous. I know it's not as fun or pretty to unbox and put on the shelf. I get that. In this box alone, from travel sizes, I have an entire perfume collection. Look how many options I still have. The rule that I started giving myself was, if I finish a travel size, then I can buy the full size, because that obviously means I really loved it, I enjoyed it, and I was using it a lot. But you wanna know how many of these in here are full? Sprayed once, twice, maybe 3 times. Didn't need that full-size bottle, neither do you. I promise. Start the travel size.
I love this lady already. I feel she's my perfume sister from another mister. I love it. I absolutely love it. And by the way, don't think that I'm not guilty of doing this, because way back, that used to be me. I used to buy on the whim. I used to blind buy. I just bought fragrances because I thought, you know, I wanted them and I needed them. And it's not even a problem still doing it. If that's what gives you excitement in your life, then fantastic. I always think hobbies are like a really important thing, because life is so precious. Like, why not enjoy things in life, right? But at the same time, I've also been in the same wavelength as her, like trying to become a little bit more responsible in terms of how I'm spending my money, where it's going. And I love her rule about the travel sizes, because I'm literally the exact same. If I have a travel size in my collection or a sample in my collection, and if I haven't reached for it if I've not used it, and if it's still completely full, I know that that's a sign to me that I don't need it in my collection. However, there's been lots of occasions where I've had travel sizes, I've finished them, and that's a sign for me, Pika, you need this in your collection. One example of that is from Orman Jane. It's Venidas Afriques. As you guys know, I love that fragrance. It's quite pricey though, so even for me, I've been having to budget in order to buy it, right? And I think I'm going to treat myself this Christmas to a bottle of Venidas Afriques. And I have the travel size and I've completely used it up. So for me, that's a sign to say, Pika, right, you really enjoyed that fragrance, so why don't you treat yourself and buy it? Another example is from the brand of Veronique Gabai, and this one is called Ready for Rosé. Oh my lord, you guys, I was not ready for how much I would fall in love with this fragrance. I bought the travel size some time back now. I completely ran out. I bought myself another travel size, which is just crazy. And I finished that one as well. The amount of compliments I've received from that fragrance and how much I love it is just, it's unfathomable. Like, I really need it in my collection. So I'm kind of toying between buying that one, with it being a bit fresher for the spring or summer, or buying Venidas Afriques. I really have no idea what to do. There's so many fragrances on my wish list. I'm kind of tempted to do a wish list part 3 video sometime soon. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to highlight that video. I loved her explanation. I've seen a couple of her videos before, and I really like the way her mindset works about buying, decluttering, and all of that when it comes to this hobby. So anyway, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe. On the road to 10,000 subs, we're very, very close now, and apparently there's a new hype button. Some of you mentioned how to optimize that, so if you can hype up the video, that's much appreciated. And as I mentioned, I do have Monica's book linked down in the description below. I even have a YouTube link just kind of explaining the book a little bit more. So if you guys are wanting to contribute to a charitable cause, definitely consider it, and I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.